And I was the worst salesman at every company that I was ever at for 3 years.
Today, Preston Beck is one of the best sales trainers All-Star has ever seen, but he didn't have a great start for his sales career. And for the first 3 years, he was nowhere near the top of the leaderboard. That completely changed when he switched to life insurance.
And then my third month, I did 45. What I liked about solar, because life insurance did everything I liked about solar, especially All-Star, but way better.
In this episode, Preston breaks down how he closes the toughest clients, the financial audit that uncovers money clients swear they don't have, and the follow-up system that has him chasing and closing the same lead 9 months later.
If you don't buy from me, it'll be the worst decision you ever made because I'll follow up with you until you or me die first.
Hands down, you are the king of objections.
That slick word track just don't work anymore. What separates, I've noticed, the good agents from the truly great ones is, you know, like no one pulls the trigger anymore.
Did you pull the trigger?
Fuck yeah.
Well, let's pull the trigger. Welcome back to the All-Star Academy, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. We got Mr. Preston Beck. How are you feeling today, bro?
Man, the same I feel as every day, bro. God woke us up another day to make something beautiful happen. So
I know, that's your saying.
I say it every time.
God woke us up another day to make something beautiful happen.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
So I feel great, man.
If you're driving, if you're in the car, man, let's make something happen today.
Yeah.
Quick question. Have you seen the movie 8 Mile?
Yeah, I definitely have.
Have you seen the rap battle?
You definitely have. I used to watch that when I was like 15 and like dream of being a rapper.
Hi, my name is... Anyways, let's do a little objection battle because hands down, you are the king of objections. Also, did we put out that YouTube video of you doing all the rapid fire objections?
Which one?
The Ring of Fire. All right, well, guys, Ring of Fire, there's a video coming out called The Ring of Fire of Objection. Preston is standing in the middle, and he is fielding objections left and right, left and right, left and right from 30 of our guys.
Yeah.
And knocking every single one out of the park.
Yeah.
So tune into that on YouTube. But,
check me out.
Honestly, I just need to think about it, dog.
You know what, dude? I agree. You should definitely think about it, and I don't blame you because I usually tell the sales guy the same thing when I make a decision. Can I ask you an honest question, Wiley? Like, can we be real for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so by this point, most of the families that I talk to, by this point, they're ready to go ahead and protect their families. So of everything that we've gone over up to this point, what are you uncertain about?
I guess just which option to go with.
So it's not really a question of whether you're going to get it because you're going to get life insurance.
Yeah.
It's just which one to go with.
Definitely. I mean, I want to honestly shop around a little bit and see like what else is out there.
Okay.
I never just make decisions the same day.
Okay, understood. Now, so you just gave me 4 objections, right? So we went from I got to think about it, which is never the real objection. Mm-hmm. So I'm not like trying to get you to close with the question. I'm trying to punch through to get to the real objection.
The root
cause. Because every time.
Let's play with it then.
Okay, let's do it. So what I would do from there is I'd try to find the real objection, be like, okay, cool, man, I understand. Like, sounds like you got a couple of concerns. What's the biggest thing that's the biggest hindrance in your mind right now from moving forward? I know you want to shop, you want to do all these things, you got to talk to somebody, you got to do all this, but what truly is the biggest hindrance between you from where you are right now versus you leaving this call protecting your family?
Just to make sure it fits in my budget and, it's affordable.
Okay.
Money's tight right now.
So what I'm hearing is as long as it does fit within the budget and it is affordable, you do think it would be a good idea to move forward and get the coverage in place?
Yeah, you can put it like that.
Okay. So if we can find the coverage and fit it within the budget, would there be anything else that would stop you from making the decision to move forward?
No, I don't think so.
Great. So just as we discussed before, you're left with $500. And then I would go over the budget and figure out.
Review the budget.
Again.
Then it really goes back to, I think people don't do a good job of doing like a financial audit where they just go, hey, how much do you have coming in?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, $2,800. How much do you have coming out? If you ask anybody that, if you even ask me that, I'm going to give you a higher number than it actually is. Because yes, I know my P&Ls, but when I was making $8,000 a month, dude, I thought $8K was coming out. I was like, no, I had $2K left over every month. So most clients are going to tell you, well, I got $2,800 coming out. But then you go through your budget and you find out they got $450 left over. Yeah,
that's a great point, man. That was a huge game changer for me because you have the script and you go through like someone's budget and all that stuff. But when you showed us how to do the financial inventory, like if someone makes less than $5K a month, I always go through everything.
Yeah.
Hey man, what's your rent? You don't rent? Okay, so you own your home. Do you have roommates? Do you split that? What's your portion? Like spouse, are we factoring in your income and theirs or just yours? Like, I think one of the like people always praise me and stuff, which I appreciate for objections, but dude, I was the worst salesman. I've been in sales 4 years now, accumulatively, because I did take a break for a little while, and I was the worst salesman at every company that I was ever at for 3 years. Like, so what I personally believe is I'm definitely not special in any way at all. But what separates, I've noticed, the good agents from the truly great ones is how, like, are you human and how good are your questions? Because people are always like, oh, what's the objection for this word track and this? Dude, honestly, like, that slick word track shit just don't work anymore. Like, you can come up with things that make sense and you can give people one-liners, but if you were a car salesman, if you were a car salesman back in the 80s, ripping freaking lines, you know, in the bathroom and then coming, oh, you want this car? Like, you know, it's better to drive home. I don't know, some crazy one-liner, but
image in my head, bro.
And you know what? The only reason I knew that is because I used to work at Harley Davidson, and a bald guy would come in, and he used to sell cars in the 80s. He told me he did coke in the bathroom, so that's how I thought. Yeah,
because I was like, bro, you have this whole image in your head.
Yeah, because his name was Rick. He was chill. I couldn't get him to buy a bike because I was a terrible salesman. But my point being is, like, dude, I think the way that I'm able to overcome objections is by truly, like, just connecting with people.
Well, I think one of the skills that people don't lean into enough is active listening.
True.
And then one thing that Jace Jensen does really well is I asked him, I said, and this guy, by the way, sells $150,000 a month. He's on his way to doing $200,000 a month.
Beast.
Bro, I mean, that's 2 months at Hall of Fame with those numbers. Like, it's
crazy.
Gangster, bro.
That's something that, like,
bro,
maybe, like,
I think it's like less than 1% of the industry does that.
How many people have you met you've been in the industry 6 years?
Yeah.
How many people do you know? You could probably count on one hand that have done 200K in 1 month on their own pen. Three people? It's crazy.
3 people I can think of top of mind.
Crazy.
But what I asked him, I said, what videos did you watch? All these things. And he said, I'm going to be upfront with you, Wiley. I didn't watch videos. And now for you guys, Jace is a very unique individual. But he said, I sat there and I thought to myself, how would I want to be treated if I was in this person's shoes? Mm-hmm. And that's how I spoke to them. Mm-hmm. And that's what I did with every single client. Because my objection for, hey, I need to think about it, always was like, I'm like, perfect, I understand, like, it's a super big decision. But just a couple minutes ago, I just want to make sure I didn't, like, mishear anything. You were just telling me, like, your wife is going to be in a bad spot.
Yeah.
You got 2 kids running around the house. You don't want to see them in shambles, and you're saving $200 a month. So why do you feel like you couldn't put at least $100 towards the silver plan to get this taken care of? Like, what did I miss?
Yeah, and that's a good point. And one thing that I've realized listening to calls and reviewing game footage and listening to other people sell, because you get so much more awareness when you're not in the spotlight, and you can really pick up, like, you can read the customer's mind. And most of the time, people are, like, you have to know your customer, but most people aren't logical. So back in the day, you could close on logic and be like, does this make sense? Yes, then let's do it. Nowadays, things are so much different. Like, you truly have to connect with people emotionally and really, you have to, like, fish out the objection, right? Mm-hmm. So for example, like, if I'm really hammering somebody and they're, like, giving me issues with the wife, right? And I've done a checklist. I know the person I'm talking to is a decision maker. They have the money. It's a good idea. It fits their budget. Like, check all the boxes, and they're just being emotional. Rather than just being like, hey, man, like, I'm assuming your wife approves of your current financial situation. Yeah, she does. Great. Let's do it. I mean, that doesn't really work anymore. You'd have to be like, hey, man, so I've been doing this job X amount of time. And what I see happen a lot, Wiley, is people will need to think about it. They end up putting the decision off. Something bad happens, and then their wife calls me to see if they had coverage, and they didn't. I'll be honest with you, I hate taking those phone calls. And it would break my heart to see that happen to you, and I refuse to let you off the call and allow that to happen. So given the choice between doing nothing, which is the easy thing to do, and I get it, I've been in your position, versus doing the hard thing, which is getting coverage in place, which one of those do you think your wife would be more proud of on this phone call? Like,
That's
you have
so
to
good.
really, like, you got to really connect with people and pull it out of them. And I'm not even looking to close on that. I'm looking for the real objection.
And you're looking just to get them to make a clear decision.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, dude, like I remember this one guy, we were trained in the very beginning of like, dude, either like we used to have them. Oh my gosh, this actually flashback. We would have them sign that they said no to the coverage.
Really?
Because we would use like, I would pull up a story of a death claim about somebody dying, me getting a phone call from the beneficiary, and just like how devastating it was.
Yeah.
And then I'd say, hey, so I don't want to get this phone call from your wife or your kids.
Yeah.
So I actually need you to sign this that's protecting me in case
Really?
anything happens. Like I did everything in my power to put you and your family in the best position. Will you just sign here?
That's tough.
Yeah. That's
In person.
In person.
Yeah, in
Let's
home.
just say it got very like intense. in
Yeah.
those moments.
Did you ever like? That's so crazy.
had
How did that work? Like,
I had a guy pick up a chair and try to throw it at me. I'm
really?
not even kidding.
He's like, get out of my house.
I was with John Shield. We were
Yeah.
in Kansas City, Missouri, bro.
Wow.
He literally looking at me and like you can just tell, just like steaming. But I'm like
Pissed.
I got my freaking guy here. I
Yeah.
got my agent here. Like,
Yeah.
you think I'm not gonna go
All
for
the way?
Like all
Yeah.
the way? Like, no, let's do this thing. And I just remember like he stands up and he turns and he just grabs it's like this little dinky chair. He just grabs this little dinky thing and just puts it up and he's just like, get out of my house.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, bro. So the
Yeah.
silver?
You at least ask. Hey, you don't ask, you don't get. I always ask one more
No,
time,
dude, 'cause
just to make sure.
I was such a punk back then, and like
Yeah.
I didn't care, and like I was just smiling my way out of the house. But like I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, at least I can tell myself I did everything in my power
Yeah.
to put you and your family in the best position.
Yeah, some people call it pressure. I
Well-
always call it encouragement. It's like you have to, like, if I go into the doctor, I don't know as much of a jerk as I might be or whatever your personality may be. You want to have confidence in the doctor, knowing what they're talking about, telling you what to do. Like, of course, when it
Yes.
comes to sales, like, immediately clients will try to put you in like they'll pigeonhole you as like, oh, this is like you're just some lowly salesman. But honestly, you just got to come in there and be like, dude, I know it sounds like I'm pressuring you. I'm honestly just encouraging you to make the right decision because I've seen it happen. And if you're a new agent, like, it's hard to tell people that story because you haven't seen it. But I mean, truly, like a month ago, I had this guy named Jack. He was an older guy, and his policy was like $160 a month. He made the first payment. He didn't make the second. It charged back. 2 weeks after that, his daughter calls in just bawling, devastated.
No.
And yeah, she's like, hey, I just want to make sure he had the coverage in place. And I'm like, because I couldn't get a hold of this guy. And I'm the follow-up king. You can ask anybody. Like, I'll keep tabs on anybody. Like, you don't buy from me, it'll be the worst decision you ever made because I'll follow up with you until you or me die first. You know what I mean? So, in a respectful way, of course. But I care. And so she called and I had to tell her no. Like, and so now going forward, you can learn and be like, because people, like, customers can tell when you're being legitimate. And when you truly pour your heart out and be like, dude, like, forget the sale. Like, I know it sounds like I'm trying to pressure you. Like, I can give you the number of this daughter that called me because I couldn't do my job.
Yeah.
Like, let's call her right now and she'll tell you what it feels like to not have coverage when your parents die.
Yeah.
Like, that's what your beneficiary is going to go through.
Dude, as you were talking about that, so my grandma passed 2 weeks ago, and my mom actually just received the death claim for her life insurance policy. Yeah. And
Sorry about your grandma, man. Rest in peace.
And my mom, I appreciate it. My mom texts me and she's just like, hey, like, I just want to let you know, like, this is coming through. Like, we're good. Like, the money's good for a while. Like, you know, no need for help, anything like that. And I was just thinking, like, wow, man, like, you know, a real life experience for me. And, you know, God bless my grandma. I know she's partying with Jesus right now. So
amen.
Just send the blessings down here, Grandma. We'll take them all. And,
exactly.
That was a cool experience. And it was such a real life story. And then secondly, you were talking about follow-up. Logan yesterday got like a $580 a month close. He might have closed it today, actually. Yeah. And he showed me this text log. He's like, bro, I fought tooth and nail to get it done on the phone with the guy. But then for whatever reason, he's like, no, or I got to, you know, run. And then ends the phone call. Logan spent 3 weeks just follow up. But like you said, like a very human approach. Hey, man, just checking in. I know this was super important to you. bumping this, dude. Like, and then he would just be like, Bob, ? Bob, I know you're still alive and breathing, right? Because you didn't get this policy. Like, funny stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he literally sends Logan a picture of his routing and account number and
really?
says, call me tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, bro. And I was like, how many of those do you get a month? He's like, 6.
Yeah.
But the thing is don't hear this message and say, oh, I'm not going to have a backbone and stand up for the client inside of the conversation. Because, like, dude, you still have to have a spine and actually stand up for people. And then if they are like, I'm so busy, and they click on you, that's when you follow up.
Right. You have to.
You don't let them off the phone, then follow up. That's not how it works.
Correct. Yeah. Like, and that was really hard for me to learn, too, because growing up as a kid, like, my mother was very don't nag, which is suicidal information for anybody who wants to do anything, because you have to, like, earlier you were laughing about how you were a punk back then. Mm-hmm. Bro, you have to be a punk. Like, not in a disrespectful way, but in, like, a gleeful, optimistic, like, just go for it way. You have to be a punk. Like, because I was listening to a reel the other day, and it was, like, the number one separating factor between, like, the greatest salesman versus the non-good people is optimism. Like, not fake, like, in your face, but, like, true, just good outlook that things are going to work out. And so, dude, I mean, follow-up is its complete own territory. Like, I got people that I followed up with for, like, 9 months that have never read my text, never replied, and I'm still, like, every once, 2 weeks, a month, I'll be like, hey, man, I miss you. Like, I thought about you. This happened. Like, I saw this red light, and I remember how you said, stop, we're not doing it. So when I saw the stop sign, I knew I had to call you. I'll just leave them voicemails and stuff. But, like, that's what people don't realize is, like, people that are tough, those are the clients that you want, because those people make deals happen, and they'll never go anywhere.
That is so funny.
Like, you really have to just be a punk and be funny, because if they don't buy, everyone is a buyer and will buy either now or at some point. Now, who they buy with is completely up to you. Mm-hmm. If they don't buy the first time and you just leave them be, then it's your fault when they buy with somebody else. But if they leave and you continually drip on them, they'll know exactly who to call the moment they're ready. Yeah. They'll be like, you're my guy.
And I always love what you said is persistence wears resistance. Can you lean into that a little bit more?
Man. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just laughing because sales taught me a lot about women. Like, to keep it PG, like, I still follow up with girls from, like, 2018, like, just to see if I still got it.
You'll be going dancing on Tuesdays and Sundays and Thursday nights. Yeah. And dude, I love that, because you're like, bro, like, I get this crazy feeling in my belly where I'm like, man, I shouldn't ask her to dance. He's like, bro, I step into that, I ask him to dance and have such a good time, you know? Yeah,
like, I mean, dude, two-stepping's awesome. It's one of my loves now, because I was so scared to dance in my whole life, and then when you finally break through, it's like you're addicted, like you feel invincible.
Side note real quick. So what was this, like 6 months ago when we went out with, like, the 5-on-5 date?
I think so. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
It might have been like 8 months ago, bro. Wow. Anyway, so
yeah, that's true.
We met 5 girls from church, and we got 5 guys living in our house. So we went on, like, a little date. We went to dinner, and they're like, hey, let's go dancing. None of us have two-step. Like, never. Ever. A day in our life. We pull up to the biggest, baddest two-stepping place in Austin, Texas. It's called Mavericks, if you're familiar with it.
Oh, my God.
Dude, actually, this is funny. I remember driving in the parking lot, looking for somewhere to park, and Pete's like, nope, there's no parking, just turn around.
Yeah, I'm like, take us home.
Just turn around. And
go home.
I'm low-key actually pretty nervous, too, and I'm like, man, like, if I can't find parking, like, I'm kind of game.
Oh, dude, I was, like, going to throw up. I'm like, roll down the window.
He's like, why? Just do it. And then we find parking. We go in there, and dude, what's so funny is I actually look back at that moment, because Mavericks, they got some real dancers in there. Bro, we were like crazy. Like, we were just like, look. But I remember, and I asked the girl I was dancing with, like, how was it? She's like, you're pretty good.
Yeah. Like, they're like patting your ego because you're terrible.
Like, patting your back, like, and then looking at the next guy, like, yo, can you? Because, bro, like,
they're like doing whirlwind tornadoes, like, and everybody goes in a circle. Like, for those of you that don't know, with two-step, like, normally you go 2, like, you crab walk. So 2 to the left, 1 to the right. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. They walk. and like they walk as they go. So
They'll
fly
flip,
it like,
they'll do it all.
and then they're doing spins, and you're just sitting there on the sideline like, wow.
Dude, it
like,
looked like I was pushing a broom down. Dude.
yeah, like
I was
it
just
was crazy.
I was thinking about that, and I was
Crazy.
like, at least I had the courage to step into it.
That's
man.
it. You got to be a punk, bro.
You know, and I think like outside of that funny story, it's like that's the type of character you got to build. Is like, regardless of the feeling, bro, I'm gonna step into it because like. Courage does not mean that you don't have fear.
Correct.
Like I still am doing things and I'm like, yo, this is uncomfortable. I don't like how I'm feeling, but I know I got to do it and this is who I am, so I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
It's like that's the character that I want to continue to build. So if it's me stepping into two-stepping on a random night where I don't know what the heck I'm doing, it's like let's do it.
Dude, absolutely, man. And it's I remember the moment that I broke through, like once you, because we're sober out here in Austin.
Yeah.
And like you guys have been a good influence on me. And before in life, I would always have to be like, oh, if I was going to do something like that, to have the courage, I'd have to lean on the bottle, right? And like get a shot or two or whatnot. But you get to this point where you get so uncomfortable. Oh, jeez. Little malfunction.
They're going to hear you.
You get to this point where you get so uncomfortable and then you stick through it and you punch through, and then you come out on the other side of that with this like euphoric feeling of invincibility. Like I don't know if that's just me, but like
no, I was going to double down on that and be like, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Dude, there's some arenas that I've walked in, and when I use the word like arenas, I'll maybe like, all right, here's a great example. So one of my best friends asked me to ordain his wedding, and that was one of the most intense speeches and biggest honors that I've ever had to do. Yeah. Ever since that moment, it was like, dude, so then when my grandma passed away, my grandpa was like, hey, I want you to speak on behalf of the family. Yeah. And I was like, that is such a big honor, and it's such a big weight to speak on behalf of my grandpa, who was married faithfully to my grandma for 66 years, and on my mother's behalf. But I just remember like so clearly being able to go back to the moments where I sat and trained the guys, or I was at the conventions training, or I was in the moments when I was, ordaining this wedding, and I'm like, no, I've done this time and time again. Like I can step up to the plate. I know that I'm going to hit the ball out of the park, not because I'm the greatest thing, just because I've gone through the different arenas. And so that's something I consistently remind myself is like, there's so many moments in the day, the week, in your life where you're just going to have to decide to step up and then watch how that character, that brick by brick decision just builds inside yourself. And then people look at you and you're like, bro, like you're legit, like you're a great dude. And it's like, bro, because I've faced a lot of different circumstances regardless to that's trials or tests or whatever arena it is. It's just stepping forward.
Yeah, in Isaiah 48:10 it says, I have refined you, but not as silver is refined. I've refined you in the furnace of affliction. Or suffering.
Oh, little bar spitter. Dang.
They were talking about that in the OT, bro. OT. Isaiah 48:10. I've refined you although not as silver is refined. I've refined you in the furnace of affliction.
Ooh, Cole, you like that?
The camera guy's looking it up. Nice. Yeah, and so what's interesting about what you said is like and we were talking about this too right before we got started. Like people prepare for an opportunity and then don't pull the trigger because they don't have the capacity to emotionally. Like one of my mentors, Dan Pena, like success does not come down to what you know, how much money you have, etc. It all comes down to your emotional bank account. Like it all comes down to what are you going to do like when your mortgage is due, you don't have money for food, when you're uncomfortable, when you got to do this crazy thing and you want to throw up from the uncomfortableness or the pressure or the stress, like how much of that can you handle? And the more you can handle and the more emotional bank account that you have, the more successful you're going to be, because life contracts and expands with uncomfortability. Yeah. Right? So, I mean, you can just like, you got to say, you end up at some point just saying the same cheesy sayings over and over again, like the cliche stuff. It's because it works. Like, you want to grow, you got to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, dude. Well, let's go to the valley of despair.
Let's do it, man.
That's what I call it. And you've gone through it.
It was a valley, yeah.
And there's so many agents that are in it, are about to go through it, or coming out of it. Yeah. And so what did your first couple months look like? Yeah. And let's just start there, man.
Man, my first couple of months were awesome. awesome. I came in, well, my first month was pretty slow. I only had half a month because I started on the 15th. So I think I IP'd like, no, it was like, I looked at the IP report. It was like 1.8K.
Solid.
I mean,
balled.
made it happen. I made it happen. Paid my bills. Second month, I think I did like 7 or 8. And then my third month, I did 45, which is pretty good. And then
real quick, I want to slow down. There's a couple of things like if you're a manager, if you're an agent, there's a couple of good plays in here that I don't want to overlook. So you were actually debating between going with a door-to-door company, right?
Solar.
So you're going to either do solar.
I was going to do solar before I found this.
Okay. And so what was the biggest thing that made you not go to solar?
Man, I haven't thought about that in a while, but
Was it flying down and like seeing everybody?
so let me say this. What I liked about solar, because life insurance did everything I liked about solar, especially All-Star, but way better. What I liked about solar was I was like, wow, okay, this is a great opportunity. The leadership gets together with its people, make sure they're doing better. Like, they're going through this. Where are our weaknesses? Who's strong? Who's needs help? Like, how do we help them? And I was like, wow, this is great. Like, I'm going to fit in here. And then just out of the blue, I found you on Instagram. We got on the phone. We clicked. You flew me out immediately. No wasted time. And I remember when I was here, I was uncomfortable because it's kind of, I don't know why. It's just normal for me to be kind of standoffish if I don't know the crowd. But I remember everyone just being so warm. Like, I can't explain it other than like, the culture that is not only in FFL as a whole, because I've never met somebody that I didn't like or connect with, but more specifically inside of All-Star. When I went to that first lock-in, like, I didn't know anybody, and there were some big wigs there. Sean Mike, Zach T, like, man, Sean Mike is his own freaking, I could talk about him for forever. He's a crazy guy, but everybody else was so warm. Like, and you didn't know who was the big producer and who wasn't, because normally big producers come with the big ego and a chip and a certain, like, dismissal of, they'll dismiss you in a like that you can catch. No one did that. You didn't know who was who because everybody was so legit. Like everybody met you where you were. They were cool. Like, not knowing anybody, you can just talk to people, and like it was so developmental. We went through numbers. We went through like all this stuff. It was so corporate, but it was also free. Like, it was electively what's the word? It was electively organized. Because this is 1099, like, you could just have people doing all types of stuff. But not only is everybody, like, they electively and on their own free will choose to be organized in the same direction.
That's a good word.
And that's what I like. I was like, wow, like, everybody's pushing because they want to.
I think one of the biggest plays, like, as a manager is, like, I saw something in you right away. Like, we clicked. You had a great character. I could tell your skill set. You were also excited. You were hungry. And the biggest thing that I've learned is the quicker you can get someone to see a larger vision in their life, and they can also see that vision tied in with your company or your mission, the more committed, the more aligned that they will be. And so I was like, I need to get Preston to a lock-in. It doesn't matter if it costs me $500, like, fly him in. And I didn't realize that you're also balancing or juggling between solar or this, but I'm so happy that I made that call. And everyone's like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And I was like, well, let's think about it. If I didn't do it, God only knows if you'd be out in Arizona and Peoria,
so
Arizona,
lost.
Knocking doors, dude.
I can't imagine my life.
No, it'd be horrible.
Yeah.
You'd would have found your way back to All-Star, dude.
God's got a crazy way of dragging you through shit and ending you up in the right spot.
Yeah, genuinely. But, okay, so that happens. I didn't want to overlook that. And then when we get down, honestly, like, me and you leaned into each other, like, heavy. Like, you were living with me in Austin, Texas. And there is such a great season where it was chapter 1, we call it. Me, you, Luke, Jackson, Logan, everybody, man.
Couple in and outs because they were traveling.
A ton in and outs. But I just remember, dude, like, we had our non-negotiable set. We had 3 to 4 non-negotiables a day. If we didn't hit them, we were running miles together. We were up early in the gym doing cold plunges, lifting. Now, I'm not even going to lie. I wasn't even a part of that. I was chilling.
I loved it, dude. I was so fired up. Like,
you guys were fired up, bro.
Just crushing, dude.
I was in a season of, like, finding my purpose again. You know, I was 5.5 years in the game, and, like, I was like, man, like I gotta find my mission. I gotta find my purpose.
I have
again.
a crazy confession, and I was hoping all the boys would be here when I said this, but I hate running. Like, there's probably a few things I hate more than listen.
Are you about to tell me? Go ahead.
So listen. So when we were going through that last year in like June, July, bro, what I would do
the freaking razor
is I would be like, so if I had like I remember specifically this one time. I remember specifically this one time.
Luke,
I had to run 2 miles, and it was like midnight. And I'm no like chicken shit, like, but Austin's kind of like in some areas it's kind of creepy at night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I have to find a way to make this work. But we had Strava. So Strava will track how fast you're going, how long it takes you, your pace, how far you go, your loop, like all that.
All of it.
So what I did was I rented a bird.
Shut your mouth.
I swear, dude. I rented a bird, and I was like, I calculated in my head. I was like, okay, I need to go like 0.4 miles. I was like, I need to go 0.4 miles an hour for 20 minutes to get 2 miles. So I just sat there and barely tapped the gas while I had the Strava on for like an hour, bro.
You did it.
Yeah, I did. I probably did that like 6 times. I would run like a quarter mile to get sweaty and like take a video and be like, oh, we're crushing. And then I get on the bird and like do the hey, winners make that shit happen, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my gosh, bro.
But hey,
I was about to say, I remember you would always drop photos in the chat.
Yeah.
And I was like, good on this, man.
Hey, in the very beginning, for like the first 3 weeks, I was legit. And then like sometimes you're like, look, it's about
Dude, I
the
feel
perception.
like that's harder than just running the mile. Like sitting on the scooter going,
I don't know, bro. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was funny too because I was like, I can't just punch it and get the 2 miles done quick because Strava will be like, it was like a 1 minute mile per mile pace.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's impossible. So I had to like meme tell it would say 10 minutes and I just hold that like for 10 minutes, dude.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Which is crazy because I never told anybody that story until now, which is I'm glad it came out. It's just funny because I'm like, hey, I think that's what separates like the people that really make it happen is because some people are so afraid to make mistakes.
Yo, can I tell you a quick story, dude?
Yeah. Tell me.
Dude.
You were doing it too?
No.
Oh.
No. My one of my mom's boyfriends when I was growing up, he gave me and then he gave this other kid a Rubik's cube, and he's like, "Yo, whoever solves it first, I'll pay $100."
Yeah,
and like that's a big deal. Like a Benjamin,
yeah, hell
that's
yeah,
a huge deal, dude. I remember being like, man, forget this kid, bro. I took off every color and just like slapped it on one side because I tried to do it. Absolutely not. I was like, I'm not figuring this thing out. Like, bro, I don't got the patience for this. So I took all the color green on one side, yellow, orange, whatever, red.
Yeah,
and I gave it back to the guy named Tom. I was like, here, man. And he starts laughing. And he goes, he pulls my mom over and he's like, check this out, Gina. He's like, the other kid's name was Blake.
Yeah.
Blake went onto YouTube, watched a video on how to do it. And then Wiley went and just like bootstrap this thing.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you think I should do? Because they both did it. There wasn't necessarily these rules.
Yeah.
And he's like, but look at the difference of their process.
Yeah.
And so he actually paid us both a Benjamin.
That's fire.
It was honestly cool, like it was a story I always remember because Blake, I think he's an engineer to this day.
And that's funny that how do I want to put this? Like,
I like the word gamesmanship.
I would say it's this phrase. There's people who just get shit done. Like,
yes,
there's no there's a formula for losing, but there's like not really a formula for success because there's always going to be unforeseen problems, hurdles, situations you've never seen, all this shit that comes up. And the people that just figure shit out and do it and aren't afraid to make mistakes are the people that truly make success. Because like if you had just sat there because you didn't want to break the rules and really tried to figure it out, it could have taken you 3 months.
Or never.
Or you could have just never done it. But to have the confidence to just be like not giving me rules when something has to be done is probably the worst decision you could. Like if it's a competition, because I'm gonna fucking win. If you don't, like, I'm not gonna cheat. I mean, I guess it depends on what you call cheating, but like I'm gonna get it done and I'm gonna do like an unorthodox way. Mm-hmm. And I think that like in school, you probably experienced this too because we had the same personality. Like, I hated in school when you would get the right answer, but you had to show your work because it's like, what if I understand it? Like, it doesn't even matter if I don't know how to get there. I have the right answer. Like, if I just always have the right answer, does it really matter how I get there?
Megan.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's straight up cheating. But like, if you're resourceful, they'd be like, how do you know? I don't know. My gut told me. Like, oh, that's not an answer. Like, well, fuck, it is in the real world. Like, you know, because you're not always gonna like. That's what I'm trying. The point I'm trying to make is like, you can be an engineer and lean on safe shit like numbers. Like, what if there is no equation or prior experience to lean on when I had to face this problem? Are you just going to, like most people, like engineers will just have analysis paralysis and crumble. But people like us will be like, okay, well, screw it. Like, we're just going to make this shit happen. And then you come up with some crazy shit and get it done. Like, that's what a great characteristic is of like good leaders and people that make stuff happen.
Get her done.
Get her done.
Get her done.
Get it done. That's it.
Get her done, baby. You know? That's what we do, man. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if we're going to get through this story.
I know. I'm a yapper.
No, bro. This is fire. Okay, so you did 1.8K. Then the third month, you're at 45,000. So you come out of the gates, you know, you're doing well. What did you do the fourth month?
35. Nice. I did 35,000. And that was October of 2025.
And then what happens?
And then after that, I proceeded to go through 5 months of the furnace of affliction, as they say in the Old Testament.
So what happened?
Man.
Did you change something?
You know what? In retrospect, I think it was God humbling me. And I try to make stuff long story short, but I'm really good at talking and telling stories. What I will say is, when I first came into this business, I remember us being like, wow, this is so easy. I'm going to write $300,000 my first month. And then I was crushing it. I was doing trainings, all this stuff. I was highly regarded. I was held high on a pedestal. And then I could just feel like my ego going nuts. And I was trying to figure out my relationship with God and money and all this stuff. And of course, I asked God for guidance, and I think what he did.
But at that point, too, sorry to interrupt you. At that point, too, just so everyone has some context, like you weren't committed to Christ.
No,
you had a lot of
trying, but I wasn't like.
Yeah, you weren't like Jesus, my Lord and Savior.
You know, I did confess that, but it's like it wasn't true for me.
Yeah,
like I knew that I believed in Jesus, but it wasn't like I probably wouldn't have died over it back then. You know, and.
I just want to give him that context.
No, that's a great addition. And so for me, I think that God took me through the ringer and made me appreciate, like, because you have to go through rain to enjoy the sunshine. You have to go through the valley to enjoy and experience the peak of the mountain. Like, and so I think truly what happened is like, because I didn't really change a lot. I worked hard. I did my thing. I tried to stay consistent, and it just didn't go my way, you know? And I think that when you come to a point where you've done what you're supposed to do and you no longer feel like anything you do has control over your situation, you have to turn to something greater than you, which conveniently is Jesus. God and Jesus. Yeah.
And what was interesting, we were on, I don't know if we were on the phone or we were just talking in the kitchen, and you were like, dude, like, I'm so happy that I didn't have the level of success that I thought I was going to have. It's
true.
Because, like, your relationship growing up with your mom was very dependent on, hey, Preston, are you performing?
Conditional, yeah.
Yeah, very conditional. Extremely. That's the word for it. And, just speaking to that a little bit, dude, because I think I've fallen in that trap about, hey, I'm judged by the number I put up on the board. I'm judged by the number I got in my bank account. I'm judged by the things that I've accumulated and the status that I have. And that has eaten me alive in seasons of my life.
True. And to add to what you're saying and to further explain, you can logically and in a business sense observe an individual and determine whether they have high or low numbers and say, okay, you're not as strong as a player as you should because your numbers are low. How do we get you up above? But in my mind, I never knew that you could still have inherent value as a human being. And not that this is like my Dr. Phil case, but truly, like, I didn't know you could be like unconditionally valuable.
You're so funny, bro.
I'm just saying, like growing up, like my mom always like put into me like, oh, you gotta look this way, you gotta care what people think, you gotta do all this, like, and it was conditional love. Like if you met these certain conditions or produced a certain thing, then you were loved. But if you didn't, you got chewed out, you were berated, you had to like walk on eggshells and stuff. And so of course, like at that time I come in, I feel valuable because I'm crushing it in a quick amount of time, going nuts, and then it all comes crashing down. Like I had my house built on sand, right? Because I thought my value was built on like conditional things. And when it come crashing down and I'm just living this mother effing war of attrition for like, I think it was probably to like month 4. Because it was like a 5-month stint, man. Like,
It was a while.
I mean, I'll tell you what. Like, if you want, like, one thing, and this is not a brag, one thing you will not beat me in is the war of attrition. Because I will stick to something longer than anyone else will. Like, I'll just hang out as long as I need to. And I knew I wasn't going anywhere, but I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, man, I don't know how much longer I can do this. And I was sitting there one day, and I had gotten some chargebacks, and my money wasn't right, obviously, and I remember just being so overwhelmed, and I was like, I literally had to take the first 2 hours of the day and just write my thoughts out in my journal. Cause I'm like, and this is crazy, but I was like, man, if I take my own life, like think about the effect it would have like on my friends that I live with, like you guys, like like how much would you guys blame yourselves? How selfish would I be? Think of my sisters, my family. Like I'm supposed to be all this, like this great, like I'm supposed to be on this pedestal and making all this success. And then I just disappear out of nowhere. And I'm like, that would be so selfish. And I remember just sitting there with my head in my hands, like, and I was just like, I called out, I was like, Jesus, save me. Like, I truly had nowhere else to go. Out of desperation, I'm like, Jesus, save me. And then it was like my eyes were open, like, but it was like something came over my mind, and it was like The Simpsons, like when the clouds part and it says The Simpsons. Like, I remember the clouds parting in my mind, and it was like, Jesus was like in a voice like that I always wanted, was like, all you have to do is not quit. I can't explain it. I don't have like proof. You can't scientifically test it, but what's true for me, like, was like, all you have to do is not quit. And I had this unexplainable feeling of warmth and calmness. And I was like, okay, that was an encounter. I was like, that was it. Like, that's all I needed. And then after that, I was like, I was fully sold, you know? And then life, it's been a slow turnaround because now I'm crushing again. But I think go ahead, you look at your
Yeah. Well, no, just like a couple things to add in there. Like, obviously, I don't want to like just let's skip over what you said. Like, dude, when you're journaling and like you're in that place where there's so many of us that like we have placed our value in our performance, and bro, like it will get you to a place where like you're willing to not walk this earth because of it.
Yep.
And it is such a lie that we've been told our whole entire lives.
Yep.
You know. But I remember so specifically, dude.
Yeah.
I'm in my office, I'm on a call, and what Preston's always been phenomenal at is anytime he's facing a situation, he would come to me and he'd be like, yo, let's sit down. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey, man, this is what I'm facing. I'm deciding between taking this route, and this route. Mm-hmm. Which one do you think is best based on your experience? And you're genuinely the only guy that's done that consistently that I've ever worked with, and I've always appreciated so much because it's like, I know you're problem solving, and it makes me want to back you and support you just 100-fold in that process because I know that you're working through it. Yep. And this one time, there's a door right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm sitting on the desk that's right behind me, and I'm on a Zoom call. Preston opens my door, and his eyes are like frantic,
just pale,
As
like a ghost.
You were just looking like death hit you, dude.
Yeah.
And I turn. And we lock eyes, and I'm like, I can't do anything, bro. And you're like, and then you just shut the door, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, yo, like I gotta follow up with P.
Yeah.
But what happened was that day, like, dude, I get just slammed. Yeah. Honestly, I just forgot for like the 15 minutes I had like break, anyways. And I come up to you that night because I remember that moment, and I remember coming up to you, and you're like, dude, like joyous, you have this peace, you have this confidence, like you have this just like air to you that everything is great. Yeah. And I was like, dude, what is going on?
When everything had fallen apart.
And you're like, dude, I got this amount, and I got pretty much no money in my bank.
Yeah.
But I got these chargebacks here, this, and this, and you're just telling it to me with this smile.
Yeah.
And you're like, but this happened.
Yeah.
And that was the moment.
I got saved.
Because we had sat down so many times and figured out, like, dude, we sat down like 8 times going through your lead flow, the this, the this. And nothing was working.
Nothing.
And I was like, where am I lacking? Where's P lacking?
For real, yeah.
Like, what are we missing over here?
Yeah.
And that was the moment that I realized, like, God just had to get you to a place where
Just bring me to my knees.
had to be dependent. That
Correct.
the only way you could take another step forward was with him.
That's a great point. Yeah. Truly, like, yeah, he had to just, and not in like a bad way. It's like I literally had to be beat to my knees on when I was relying on myself, to where I'm like, because like you said, we literally came together 8 times. I forgot we got together that many times.
Yes,
You're right.
dude.
Like we
game planned this thing
40
times.
times.
Bro. Literally,
And
it's
that's
like all the time. We're like, yo, well, let's try this.
Yeah.
Let's adjust this. Try this, boom, boom.
Yeah. And that's why I attribute it to God's infinite wisdom and plan, is because
Yes.
I don't know, like I can't tell you,
We're like
I
two
stopped
monkeys
doing
down here.
Huh?
We're like 2 monkeys down here. He's like,
Yeah.
"Yo, chill. I'm doing my work.
Yeah, it's like I can't attribute it to, well, I was spending this much on leads and then I was spending less, or I stopped it at all, or I stopped making calls. Like it was like on paper I should have been producing.
Yep.
And then it was just like there was nothing, like truly, like you ask for, I don't know, it's just funny. Like the way that God's plan works is so funny, because he knows what you need when you think you know what you need. Like I thought all I ever would have needed was for God to just like be a voice in my head, and then I'm like, oh, I'm saved.
Yeah.
But then in his knowledge, he knew that I would have flunked later and like maybe gone away. He's like, he knew that I needed to literally just be beaten. Like not him beating, but me beating myself over like my value. And another thing that helped too is like having a great leader. I know we've gone over this like a lot, but like, dude, the fact that like God will answer your prayers if you just ask. Like I remember before I got in this business, I just got hammered one night. Because I was so fed up working at my old job, like my 9 to 5. And I was just yelled at God for straight up like an hour when I was hammered. I'm like, you gave me all this talent. You gave me all these dreams. Like, where am I going to go? Like, what do you want me to do? And then we got linked up. We got linked. That was actually after I went to the solar interview.
Yeah.
And then, but having a great leader, because there's so many agencies and I didn't know anything. I just jumped in. And the fact that I got linked up with you is crazy, because like, the fact I got blessed with a good leader is truly such a blessing, because I remember you changed my view on like value, because right around that time I got saved, I think it was right before that.
Right before.
I was like, because the standard here is like 30K or more, which it should be. And it was like, I was like, hey man, like I was kind of being joking because that's my personality, but also I was being serious. I'm like, hey, Wiley, you still going to love me if I don't do 30K? And you were almost like taken aback. You're like, what? You're like, come on, you're like, P, I love you no matter what you do. And it was like my whole paradigm on value was just shattered, like in a good way. I'm like, damn, like people really can truly love you for who you are. Like, and I'm like, wow, I never it's weird. It was like uncomfortable to try to grasp.
And it's funny because like there's some moments where like it's big for one person and not for the other, but like that was such a big moment for me too, bro, because I couldn't believe that I could, but I also at the same time couldn't. Like I could see it on your face. You're like joking, like, yo, like you still love me if I don't hit 30K.
Yeah.
But I remember looking, and for like a split second, I was like, oh my gosh, like I just saw it. I was like, yeah, I'm like, Pete, bro, I'm going to love you no matter what, bro. You could be in the dumps, dog. Like, I'm going to love you no matter if you're homeless or not. Like, you won't be homeless, but like.
Yeah. It makes me emotional thinking about it right now. Like, it's so crazy. It's all these little moments. Like, truly, you will be the summary of the 5 people you spend the most time around.
Yeah.
Like, if I spent time around leaders that were not as emotionally developed or as mature, it could have just changed the whole trajectory of my life in that one moment. Like you could have just been like, well, I don't know. What are you going to do this month? And then that would have just re-solidified this improper view that I had of myself and my value, you know? And it's like, how lucky am I that I just got paired up with a leader that was like, that truly from the bottom of your heart, like you still let me stay in the house. You still let me show up every day. You encouraged me. You took the time. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like truly, it's incredible.
Yeah, dude. No, I appreciate that, bro. And I didn't even think about the other outcome too of just like if someone, because dude, honestly, someone could have replied jokingly and been like, dude, like, what are you gonna do this month, bro?
It could have been, they could have been joking, not even in a mean way, and it could have just changed the whole trajectory of my entire life.
Yeah.
You
God
know?
gives us discernment. Nah, bro, it literally was like a moment where like God grabbed me and like allowed me to like see this lie that you were living in, like that perception of yourself, and I was just like, oh shoot. I was like, bro, like I love you no matter what, dude.
It was a life-changing moment, man. And
well, that's sick. And like it happened, and then what? Were you rich the next day?
No, thankfully not. No. Obviously, no one likes going through pain and suffering. So, like, do I ever want to go through that again? No. Am I glad I did? Yeah, I am. Because if I would have been as rich as I wanted to be and as successful as I thought I was going to be, I'd be a shitty leader. I would have been the leader in the other situation. Like, that would have been funny and, like, hurt people. Because, like, I wouldn't have valued myself unless the numbers were good. I wouldn't value my team unless they were doing good. I would have had this crazy chip on my shoulder. I would have been egotistical. And is that coping? Just to, like, I mean, depends on how you look at it. The way that I look at it, what's true for me is, like, dude, God put me here for a reason. He put me through there, and I'm glad that it turned out the way that it did. And so it's been a 5-month journey since then, and now I'm back up again. 40K months.
Yeah, bro.
40K.
No, that's amazing, man. And it's just so cool because I know that somebody's listening to this and like, bro, you got to put your hope, your trust, your faith in something bigger than yourself.
Truly.
Like, it's not the numbers. It's not what you got in your account. It's not what you have. It's like the community we have, like the God that we serve, the mission that we're on. Like, that is everything, bro.
Yeah, it's so true, man. And I know that it used to actually really piss me off when I was really broken, like going through like when I was in the super valley, like the deep valley.
Yeah.
And you guys would always be like, oh, it's not all about the money. And I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, money would solve every problem I have right now. And it just used to piss me off. Like, oh, it used to make me so mad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what, dude, like, truly, because you would always tell us, like, you know what, like, I thought money was everything, and then it was like this golden ball that I just wanted to touch, and then when I finally grabbed it and had the money, it was like a paper mache, and it just crushed together. And now I experienced that when I went back home for a wedding.
Really?
Because I went and saw my childhood friend, Steven, shout out Steve and Kate, they got married, and I was like, you know what, dude, like, now I don't want to take away from them. They're successful. They're doing what they want to, but they've never been dreamers like I have. And again, I want to say that's the right way. I don't mean to demean anybody, but they haven't achieved the level of success that I have or that I will achieve, which again is no disrespect, but I was thinking to myself, I'm like, when I'm there and I'm with my friends and I'm laughing and we're having fun and, you know, you're making jokes and I'm like, dude, like, you can just be the rich guy and have all this money. But so what? Like, no one cares. Like, the only, truly, I realize I'm like, the only thing that matters is, like, two things. One, what is your legacy when you die? Are you just going to be the guy that was rich and that thought just throwing money at people would make you a good person? Mm-hmm. Or, like, are these people excited and they feel happiness when your name pops up on their phone? Or can they lean on you? You know what I mean? Like, not just money-wise, like, can they lean on you? Are you going to be there when you say you're going to be there? Do you make them feel good, right? And the other thing is, like, the only thing that matters is what you experience in life and who you experience those things with, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's it, man. Like, you can have all this money and be the rich guy with the jet and shit, which you should aspire to things, but it shouldn't be your, like, oh, I'm rich. Like, that's my personality, you know? Like, I know that I'm destined for great things. So one thing that I always try to, like, really lean on is, who do I want to be remembered as? And, like, how do I want to be perceived? Not because I care what other people think, but I care what I think. Like, how do I want people to receive me? Like, how can I present myself as the best, most human, fun, warm person that I can, you know? Yeah. And go as long as I can without talking about money. Like, like, why not be loved because you're a good person instead of, like, interesting? Wallet. Yeah, like, you know?
Nah, dude, that's awesome, bro. And I'm super grateful to walk through life with you, dude, and be in this battle, man. And
same here with you, bro.
And just be in this mission. So, Bro, this is a banger podcast, huh, Colton?
Yeah, this is fire.
Pete Cook, bro. Homie was nervous before, too.
Yeah.
Hey, you timestamped it up. Well, guys, if you need a mentor, man, Preston Beck, I'm telling you guys, he is one of the best human beings, leaders, sales trainers on the planet. He'll teach you a skill set. He'll get you right in all categories of your life, and he's far from perfect, but he will give you everything under the sun. So if you're in need, man, you got the guy right here. And alongside that, I just want to say, send this to a friend. You don't know who needs it, and I hope it helps. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you back at the next episode on the All-Star Podcast.
That's right. And be great, because it's the only thing that pays.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's go. Thank you, brother.
Of course, bro. Thanks for having me.
All right, last but not least, I'm going to drop the little IG. P, what's your IG?
Preston Ginger.
Preston Ginger.
Yeah, it's all one word.
Preston Ginger. All right, guys, go
Preston
hunt him down.
Ginger,
Come
go
on.
follow me. And you can see my shenanigans.